Section 2, Atoms, Building Blocks of Minerals. In this figure, you will see a figure showing you protons, neutrons, and electrons. That's a simplified view of atom that is surrounded by electrons. Why we care about that? Why we need to learn about atoms and electrons and nucleus? Because minerals are composed of atoms. One or more elements. So the mineral can contain one element or more than one element, and it has atoms within it. So we care about atoms and its electrons. Atoms of any element consist of the same three basic ingredients. Their ingredients are protons, neutrons, and electrons. So we need to learn about electron, neutron, and protons. The atomic number represents the number of protons found in the nucleus of an atom of a particular element. For example, an oxygen has 8 protons, so its atomic number is 8. That means the atomic number is always equal to the proton number. Protons and neutrons are approximately the same size and the mass, but the protons are positively charged. On the other hand, neutrons have no charge. And you need to know that if you move the other section here, we care about the periodic table because, like I said, the minerals will contain elements within it. Some elements lose electrons, some elements gain electrons. Electrons are much smaller than both protons and neutrons. So the electrons are really small. The electrons can have a negative charge that can be equal in magnitude to a proton positive charge. Electrons are surrounded, electrons are around the atoms. They are making it as shell. So it's like, so for instance, you have an atom here, and the electrons are going to be surrounded around the atom. So you have an atom here, it will be surrounded by 2 electrons in the first shell. Second shell will contain 8 electrons, and the third shell will contain 8 electrons as well. The electrons in the outermost, listen to that one very carefully, the electrons in the outermost shell called valence electrons. Outermost electrons called valence electrons. Why it's important? Because here the elements with the similar numbers of valence electrons, they tend to behave in similar ways. So if you watch the periodic table that displays here, it also reflects in their graphical arrangement of the periodic table. There is a nice graph in the next section. It will go through it in more detail. And there is a nice example showing you quartz, sulfur, and a copper, which is actually they're trying to explain to you a mineral can compose from a single element, which gold, sulfur, and copper is only containing one element in their chemical composition. So I have selected one question from a concept checked, and I assigned you a homework from it. Good luck doing that. Thank you for listening.